People basically are suspicious of difference and scared of change. I think to me, that's the basic nature of man. He's also very curious at the same time and very hopeful. But taken in packs, and we kind of coalesce in packs, be it, we call them parties or churches but we gather together in little groups and look around and talk amongst ourselves. Um, you know, we look out for difference, and we're very afraid of difference. Only, what happens, and the great thing about it is that usually one or two people in the pack are able to say, well, maybe this idea will help us get somewhere a little different. And that happens, and then you have evolution. I'll tell you something. One of the most profound experiences of my life was in 1985, I was writing a book on Motown. And I went to Detroit. And I went into the Motown building, Hitsville, USA. So it's Hitsville, USA. It's a building. It's like a house that they converted into a studio. And I went into the basement. And the basement is, an unfurnished basement. It's probably a good size, bigger because it's in the Midwest, bigger than a basement in Long Island. It's probably a higher ceiling than a basement might have, and they don't have basements in LA, so there's no basements. But it's a big basement in a big Midwestern city. And out of this place, they converted, knocked out a couple. The music from this little room changed the world. I mean, Motown is one of the most important sort of cultural forces in the world in terms of like black culture and what's American and American optimism and all of that stuff comes out of this little room. You ever go to Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, where Dr. King came from, and his father preached there? It's a church. It's a little black church, probably bigger than a lot, but not as big as quite a few. And you go to any place like that. If you went to the Disco Fever in the Bronx, which is where a lot of rappers hung out in the 70s and Smoke Angel Dust and some of the earliest shows at Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash was, it's a dump. It's a joint. I don't know if the building still exists. And what I'm saying is that profound, world-changing events happen in little spaces. They start in little places. And they start with like-minded individuals who gather together for a very simple goal. And out of that community of people and these little spaces, the world can be changed. So that's my optimistic side, is that I've seen things happen from the very beginning. I've seen hip-hop happen from pretty early on. I've seen the effect of independent black film and with Spike and them, because he was around the corner. He lived in a little apartment around the corner from me. So I'm optimistic that people's ability to transform reality is always present. That opportunity is there. But for the most part, we don't fulfill that destiny, often because of what I said earlier, which is a kind of sense of unwillingness to embrace change and sometimes our fear of change and a fear of difference. So, I mean, it's a mix of, like I said, hope for the best and prepare for the worst.